All right. We've on to our third topic for this evening, and it's not a COVID-related topic, but it is related to people who provide services in the community. I'd like to, as most of you know, we probably get members of the Gungahlin police station to come along every year and give us a bit of an update on crime and other matters in the Gungahlin region. This evening we've got Troy Roberts with us, who's not with the Federal Police. He's with the Australian Federal Police Association, which is the professional body that represents police, the police force. And Troy has been working within AFPA on a number of programs here in Gungahlin, and has generously made his time available to talk about that. So I'll just unmute you, Troy, and ask you to jump in and just give us an outline of what AFPA have been up to.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, and I've been looking forward to this for a while now. It's nice to have a bit of social contact, even though it's not face-to-face, but that's the new world that we live in at the moment.
It is.
We've been doing actually a lot of work out at Gungahlin. We have serious concerns about the sort of police infrastructure out there, particularly the station. We don't believe it's fit for purpose for the Gungahlin community. It was probably fit for purpose back in 2006 when there were 31,000 people out there. But based on the ACT government stats, Gungahlin is going to be the second biggest district in 2020, and hello, here we are. And police numbers and stuff like that in relation to police hasn't grown with the population out there. And that's really a big concern for us, for the community response aspect of it, but also for the health and the welfare of our members stationed out there. We've been out there quite often. The poor guys and girls out there, they sit on each other. There really is no room in that building anymore. And so we're petitioning government quite hard to have a look at future accommodation sites and stuff like that, along with ACT policing. Both parties can see that, the station is not great, but, a lot of funding now, from both federal and also state and territory is going to be tied up in COVID and the COVID response and the stimulus packages and stuff like that. So I think for the short term, and unfortunately for the members out there, it's probably going to have to do. But we are looking at some other models. We had a chat with the Shadow Minister for Police a couple of weeks ago now about possibly the police taking over the Gungahlin desk and ESA, Fireys and Ambulance moving out to a new desk out the back of around Horse Park Drive or somewhere like that. Our reasoning for that is we believe police still need to be in the town centre. It's the hub of Gungahlin, and we need a police presence there. Moving the police station out to Ford or anything like that really isn't ideal. But we also realise that land is quickly drying up in that town centre area. Our rationale is also that with the Fireys and with the high-rise buildings out there, they need a large truck, and some of those streets in the town centre, they've got Buckley's of getting a large truck around there. So that is one model that we're looking at. Another model is to look at building a new police station. But as I said, that will depend on location and future funding from government.
Right. In terms of the number of police in Gungahlin, I mean, is that, are we like, do we have twice as many? I mean, how do we stand up compared to Belconnen or Tuggeranong or any other parts, and indeed other cities outside Canberra?
Yeah, good question. I'll stick with Canberra because that's what I know. Basically, Gungahlin is under strength, under resourced with police officers. Most other stations on a good shift will have one sergeant and 5 or 6 constables. Gungahlin on a good shift maybe down to 1 and 4, on a bad shift 1 and 3 type of numbers. Gungalin's expanding, and I worked out there. I spent 3 years out at Gungahlin Station. And I remember when there was a sheep paddock behind the police station and the stuff like that. So the staffing needs to increase, but also once again, it gets back to the station. There's no point in moving 20 extra officers out there if they haven't got a seat to sit on or a computer to type their jobs off on, or the infrastructure to support them. Part of our core of looking at either taking over the desk or building a new police station is that the community out there are shortchanged compared to the other police stations. The other police stations have a family room. They have a family violence room, so it's not quite an intimidating environment for victims. They also have their own dedicated crime teams who are detectives and investigate the large or more serious crimes. At the moment, if something serious happens out of Gungahlin, like a homicide or something like that, then they take resources from Woden, Belconnen, Tuggeranong City to cover Gungahlin. And once again, I think that's shortchanging the community out there. I think there's a big enough population out there to justify their having their own crime team.
Yep. So I guess anyone else with any questions or concerns? I note that I noticed that, Kevin. I'll get you up in a sec. When we conducted our community survey, little visible police presence was something that was of concern for nearly 50% of residents. So it's something that is topical. And so it's something that people are aware of. Kevin. Whoops, sorry, I haven't unmuted you. You've muted yourself as well.
Yeah. Here we go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
There is going to be released land in Gungahlin for community services. It seems that this is a good opportunity for us to be putting in for more community services, including the police. So the police could well be a core part of us being able to get a community centre and a community facilities in Gungahlin. So it's a good time, I think, to be approaching this thing. About how much space how much of a building do you need?
Yeah, and that's a difficult one to answer. Like, if you look at the current desk is a good size. If we were looking at putting more services out there, like if we moved into the desk, there may be ability, as I said, to put a traffic operations team out there or some other teams out there, so we can multi-purpose the building. Get more bang for your buck. As far as a police station goes, I would probably model it on the Belconnen police station that was built a couple of years ago. I think that back then it came in at a cost of about $25 million to build. And that caters, that is a fantastic police station. It's environmental friendly. It ticks all the boxes. It is a well-built, really good police station. So if there was scope to build a new police station, we'd be in favour of replicating the current Belconnen police station.
That's the one opposite Canberra High School.
That's the one next to the Winchester Centre on Belconnen Way, just near the markets.
Oh, okay.
So how would you suggest we start to promote that or to agitate for it?
Yep. Obviously, writing to the minister is a good protocol, and individually, but also as a body. The Shadow Minister, Julia Jones, is very aware of the issues that we have out here at Gungahlin, and she's keen to have a look at a number of models to assist police. I would probably start with those two. It also wouldn't hurt. ACT policing are very aware of the issues out there, but their hands are tied by building size and funding and stuff like that, which I know is no comfort to you guys out there at Gungahlin. So I'm not sure if there'd be any value in petitioning the chief police officer. He said, I think he's very aware of the issues. At the end of the day, the money has to come from government. it'll be more territory based, but given the fact that the AFP is also a federal entity, it wouldn't hurt to also, Peter Dutton's the Home Affairs Minister. He's responsible for the AFP. Wouldn't hurt to petition him either.
Zed.
We'll fire up the keyboard. Get engaged. Any other questions? Show of hands. Anything else? Nope, no one online, no chats. Yes, someone's just observed a good election topic to be pursued by the GCC. Yes, there'll be a few on that. All right, well, look, Troy, yep, okay, sorry, Jeanette, and the McRae's. I'll just unmute you. Go, McRae's.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm involved with Neighbourhood Watch in Harrison, and I'm also concerned about the police presence or lack of police presence perhaps in Gungahlin. My understanding is that Gungahlin now has around about 75,000 people, which is much larger than many regional towns in Australia. Gungahlin is a large area. And I keep statistics sent to me by the police, ACT police, on crimes. And for example, in December 2019, we had 23 criminal incidents in just Harrison, just in Harrison. There's motor vehicle theft, number plate theft, there's assaults, 3 assaults, 3 burglaries, and in February, just the February past, we had 18 incidents through a lot of those categories. So I'd like to really find out how much of those crimes are actually solved. What's the completion rate of solving those crimes? And I'm not too sure if he'd be able to tell us that, but it's just something I'm concerned about. I mean, if that's happening in just one suburb, Harrison, what's the whole of Gungahlin like?
Yeah, we definitely echo your concerns because, crime doesn't stop, it doesn't sleep, and only having one car out there to patrol the whole of Gungahlin on a night shift or 2 cars on a day shift is, it's not satisfactory in anyone's books. So it's the guys and the girls on the ground are, they're incredibly hardworking. They want to get out there. They want to, do their job. But clear up rates are difficult, especially with stuff like number plate theft and stuff like that. But there's enough literature out there to say that if someone steals a motor number plate, they're more than likely going to go and commit another offence. So it gets back to community policing, and unfortunately it gets back to having members on the road, having members out there driving around, pulling up people. Why do people walk the streets at 2 a.m. in the morning? Well, the job of the police is to ask them the question, why are you out and about? But because of the lack of resources and the lack of members on the ground, they just can't cover that. It's a huge area out there, and it's ever expanding. They patrol from pretty much Epic all the way to the border, past Hull. Yeah. So their patrol zone is enormous, which, once again, lack of resources impacts on response time. If you have a critical incident and the only one car you have is out at Hull and you live in Harrison, they'll get there as quickly as they can, but, if it's a life or death situation, those 5 minutes are going to feel like an eternity. And vice versa for the guys on the ground. We've had a couple of incidents out there where police officers have been assaulted, and their backup have come from City or Belconnen, which in the heat of a battle, 2 or 3 minutes, as I said, when you're fighting and wrestling with someone, that's an eternity. Last thing I want to see is a police officer get injured or killed and having no backup. So that gets back to the welfare of the members. I've got a couple of people out there who are concerned for their safety when they're on duty because their backup is potentially a long way away.
Yeah, and I think good comments, Troy, and I think they're pretty aligned to what the McRae's are saying. I know Rod Anderson, when he comes along and gives his update, he does talk to some of these completion rates, and it's pretty obvious. They've got to make some tough calls about, well, we can't do everything that needs to get done. So we're just focusing on the tips of the iceberg. So, all right, I think they're good points. Anyone else got a question or a query? No. All right. Well, look, Troy, thank you for keeping this topic live. Like I said, we want to make sure that what we're doing and saying is well aligned to what you're hearing from the people you represent. So I'm sure we'll be talking more in the coming weeks and months if we ever get to doing anything other than talk about the COVID pandemic. So.
Yeah, no, as I said, just thank you for the opportunity. As I said, it is a topic which is pretty important to us at the moment. We know that the community out there deserve better, and we also know that our members out there deserve better.
Yep, cool. Well, thanks, mate, for coming along tonight.